Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Dave's Faves, number 104. Oh, my goodness. And I want to talk to you today about Strauss's four last songs. Oh, my, how gorgeous. But not just Strauss's four last songs, because this Dave's Faves is a double, because they just go together. And the double is these two discs, this pair of discs on Ondine featuring soprano Soile Isokoski, one of the great sopranos, Strauss sopranos of the living age. Now, there are millions of wonderful performances of the four last songs, and we have already had a huge discussion about all of the versions that you all like the best, because it all goes by singer. It really is. I like the baritone versions. Just kidding. So we don't need to repeat that, I don't think, unless you didn't see the original repertoire video on Strauss's four last songs, in which case I heartily recommend that you do so and take a look at all of that stuff so that we don't have to repeat the conversation here. The reason I chose Isokoski, there's so many performances that I love. I mean, I love Jesse Norman. I love Gundula Yanovitz. I mean, there's this, oh, goodness gracious. I even like Schwarzkopf. There's lots of wonderful performances of that music because it is simply, some of the most glorious music ever written for the soprano voice. But the reason I chose this isn't just because it's one of the greatest ever four last songs in the history of the universe. It is. Trust me, those of you who listened to it after we talked about the repertoire, these performances in that repertoire video were suitably impressed, even if it wasn't your favorite. It is mine. And the reason it is mine is, first of all, because of the couplings. Here on the Four Last Songs disc, you get a whole bunch of other orchestral songs. You get Der Rosenband and Ich wollte ein Sträuchlein binden, and well, I'm not going to go through them all, but there you get Befreit, which was one of Strauss's favorite, and Ruhe meine Seele, and the Wiegenlied, and Zueignung. You have to have Zueignung. You gotta have Zueignung. I mean, Strauss without Zueignung is like, Italy without pasta, right? And then you've got to have Morgen. You got to have Morgen. And you get the Heiligen Drei Könige aus Morgenland. Oh, that's such a beautiful song. It's a wonderful song. The big one, 6 minutes of juiciness. And then the four last songs. And they are magnificently done and fabulously accompanied by the Berlin Radio Symphony Orchestra under Marek Janowski. It was amazing. But the reason I go for these two is because if you like this one, you're going to love this one. And this one, in some ways, is even more, well, for me, it was more exciting. Why? So what do you get? It's with the Helsinki Philharmonic under Aku Kamu, and you get two scenes from Ariadne auf Naxos. You get Ein schönes Jahr and Es gibt ein Reich, naturally. And then you get from Rosenkavalier, you get a little bit, Die Zeit, die ist ein sonderbar Ding, that wonderful little curious interlude from Act 1. And you get Es geht hin. Well, she's singing the Marschallin, of course. And then you get from Capriccio the whole 20-minute long closing scene, which is really the best part of the opera. And it's endless in the context of the opera. It's really better to hear it separately, I think. It's very, very beautiful, contemplative, and it's kind of like the immolation scene, but in a nice domestic setting, if you can imagine such a thing. However, after all that yumminess, the real reason to get this one, along with that one, the four last songs, is because of the three hymns, Opus 71. The three hymns they're Holderline settings. They are gorgeous. They are the natural anticipation, because they were written in the 1920s. And the four last songs, of course, date from the late 1940s. But they are the natural predecessor of the four last songs. They are gorgeous. They are huge. They last 8, 7, 6, figure it out, about 20 some odd minutes, as long as the four last songs. They're as exquisitely orchestrated. They are as rapturous for the soprano voice. They're just amazing. And no one knows them. So if you love the four last songs, you are going to love the three hymns. And there aren't that many recordings of them. There really aren't. I think Felicity Lott did them. They were in the big Strauss orchestral box on Canary Classics that Dita Gruberova was featured on, and a bunch of other singers. And there are a couple others, but not many. Truly not many. And my God, the music is unbelievable. Just unbelievably beautiful, vintage Strauss. And it deserves to be better known. And so for that reason, these are my Strauss leader discs. They belong together, and some opera excerpts too. And if you glory in the soprano voice, Shea Strauss, and who doesn't, then you need to have them both. I'm going to play you a little bit of the middle of the three hymns, which is Rückkehr in die Heimat. Rückkehr, in die Heimat, the return to the homeland. And oh my goodness, I just can't even, I should stop. Here it is. Come on, you gotta have it, don't you? That's why I chose these two unbelievably glorious recordings, Soile Isokoski with various orchestras and accompanists on the Ondine label. Two of the best Strauss records you will ever hear in your life. Unbelievably beautiful music, perfectly performed. It's that simple. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.